Welcome into another edition of the Gator Nation Football Podcast. I'm your host, James DiVirgilio, and on this film review, I'm taking a look at Florida's defense versus Tennessee's offense. This is the game that I believe most people will mark as the beginning or the ascension of Coach Austin Armstrong, who I like to affectionately call Coach Ham, from the great Hambino from Sandlot. Same kind of energy, same kind of vibe, at least for me. As a superstar in college football, as a defensive coordinator. We saw it on the film review this season. Each game, Florida's defense improving. The tactics, the strategy, the communication that Florida was able to employ in just game 3 of Armstrong's tenure here at Florida was nothing short of exemplary. I'm going to break down this film for you, the good and the bad. Not every play obviously was perfect, and show you why I believe that Austin Armstrong is already one of the best defensive coordinators in all of college football at just the age of 30. As always, if you like this content, follow us on social media, sub to this very channel for more reviews like this one. Check out our merch, drop us a dono on Patreon to support our efforts to bring you more of this type of content throughout the season, and check out the podcast each and every Monday, where we bring you in-depth analysis on the Florida Gators. Without further ado, let's take a look at how Coach Ham tackled the challenge of facing Tennessee's wide split vertical passing offense in the swamp on Saturday.
First play of the game, first play of what's going to be a journey with you and I together on this film review, which is thoroughly satisfying for me. Although Florida gave up a lot of big plays in this game, not a lot, 3 big plays in this game to be exact, and there was maybe one other one that could have been there. The style with which Florida plays defense now under Coach Ham, Austin Armstrong, is fantastic. We've seen this if you've watched both film reviews. In fact, if you watched McNeese, you saw that McNeese had 2 plays that ran the wide splits. We kind of got an idea what Florida may do. But this was a heavyweight matchup between Heupel's wide split, up-tempo Tennessee offense, which I love. It creates a lot of problems for college defenses. And then an up-and-coming superstar who I think after this game now, in my opinion, is a rising and already perhaps bona fide star in the defensive coaching profession in college football. Again, Coach Ham, the great Hambino, and Austin Armstrong. So, what do we have in this matchup, and what does Florida try to do right away on the first play? Showing you at least a part of their base strategy that we'll see throughout this is, when possible, Florida wants to play 4v3 and 3v2. And they did that in part by using Princely creatively as a flats defender. So by moving him there, if Tennessee ever goes empty, like you see here, leaving just Joe Milton, Florida was content for the 4th defender here to be Scooby or Shamar, leaving then just 4 defenders in the box, right? There's our 4 defenders in the box, leaving 4 defenders in the box versus Tennessee's 5 plus a quarterback. Now, those numbers are not ideal for the defense. We talked about Georgia employing a similar strategy like this on the podcast, that you can, of course, play with just 4. If your D-line is strong enough, they hold up. Your linebacking core is good enough and you can handle it. You can make that happen. So let's look at the very first play. Tennessee, under Joe Milton, has thrown primarily a lot of east-west screens, especially to get him going because he's been missing the vertical routes. Not the same addition coming into this game as the one we saw last year. We talked about that on the podcast as well, and that is what Florida saw a lot of, and Florida was ready. Empty set, immediately he turns. Quick game for Tennessee is in fact quick game, which means now Scooby knows he has to flow, and watch how perfect this is. Where is Jaden Hill going to go? He knows he has to go outside. That's his role. Where are we coming down here from the safety? To the outside. That's his role. Everyone do their job. Engage the block here with Jason Marshall. Do you do your job? We're in good position to stop this play. We come in here, we whiff that tackle. That's a miss, not ideal. Was going to be a nothing burger for a gain. Instead, it's a couple of yards. But right away, Florida shows in the very first play, this is not the same defense Tennessee faced last year. We are not going to be employing the same tactics. Of course, it's not a surprise to you. If you've been a veteran of this film review, you knew this was coming. And on play 1, Florida shows we are ready, and we have a plan that we believe is going to work to slow Tennessee down. Now let's see what happened. All right, 2nd and 6. We talked about Florida featuring the tight front on the pod, and that's what you're going to see. So we've seen this before in the film reviews, but the tight front is going to keep everything to the inside. We're going to keep these defensive ends right here on the inside, right? We're going to have 0 technique right here, 4 technique here, and we're going to keep everything locked up on the inside. Linebackers filling gaps. This is a no-go zone. You cannot run the football in here, and the reason that's important is because your safeties generally, especially if you want to play sound passing defense, have to stay over here. You need to be able to make sure they don't crease you right here, something Tennessee did a very good job of last season in general to all sorts of football teams, and Florida early on is going to show the power of this tight front and running it correctly with solid gap control, right? Tennessee right now featuring a 5-man line. 5-man line, no tight end in here because they are 2x2. 2x2. Look at the position here from Jaden Hill. We've talked a lot about this on previous film reviews. In the past, Florida would have someone in here, leaving this with tons of space. Not anymore. Equidistant from where we want to be, right? We've talked about this again on previous reviews. Equidistant from where you want to be, covering both a slant route or anything in here, as well as being able to come in here and help defend on the run. Great alignment right off the start. And that alignment's going to pay off. Jaden has eyes in the backfield to see if this is going to be a run or pass. It is, in fact, a run right away. We're going to play away from the running back. Away from the running back side, we're going to come in here, take this off the edge. There's what you see Scooby doing right there. Engage this block. Now we're going to come off the edge here and fill this. Win at the line of scrimmage right here. Then you've got Shamar in case there's an exit, which there is. Right? Boom. Throw him down. Bring up a 3rd down. Early start, 2 good plays. 3rd down and relatively manageable, of course, for Tennessee. But again, Florida showing that they are ready for what Tennessee has to offer them. 3rd and 4, and right away on your screen, you see that Tennessee has been struggling with 3rd down conversions. Now, this should be surprising because, again, generally their offense does create a lot of easier 3rd down conversions, but that's largely due to dropped passes and inaccurate throws from Milton. Florida, as we've seen all year on 3rd down, showing an aggressive posture. Right, we got 5 men right at line of scrimmage, a 6 right off of it. Obviously, Florida runs a lot of simulated pressure where they may send 3 or 4, might drop a couple guys back. You're not exactly sure what's happening. We're showing man defense here in single high. Already a check, right? If you want to play successfully against Tennessee, something we have talked about since Seipel got here, you have to play a lot of man. Now, we also said in the podcast that we didn't need to play as much man as last year's Tennessee team would have dictated because of the inaccuracies and lack of receiver strength that Tennessee has this year versus last year. You could have played more zone, but generally speaking, you're probably going to spend at least half the game in man defense, and that's for good reason. You want to make sure that they cannot run on you on 3rd and 4, and you want to make sure that you challenge them to make difficult passes, and you don't allow them to just run their zone beaters, which are excellent. All right, what happens here on 3rd and 4 is Florida has the exact right defense. We're man-to-man. Shamar has the running back. We're locked up here, right? We're good numbers in the box. And unfortunately, Tennessee steals an easy one. Something we've also seen on film this year is they're throwing to the running backs more out of the backfield because, again, they don't trust Milton's accuracy. That's a problem for their offense. Florida's defense knew it, but they fall asleep a little bit here. Shamar waits too long to equal this. You see how he's peering still in the backfield, still trying to help out in case Milton maybe Sprigg takes off here. He should just be selling out in man and denying this. He does not do it, gets a shallow angle, cannot catch up, and Tennessee converts their first 3rd down of the game. So right look for Florida. It's what you want to see. Right look for Florida. Bad execution. Conversion for Tennessee. What's great, of course, about watching Tennessee and Florida on the television and not on the All-22 on the coach's film is that you can't see that there's a player down here. It just looks like they have 10 guys because he's way over here off the splits. But don't worry about that for now. How Florida handles this again, tight front. We got 5 in the box. Tennessee here, a much more loaded box, right? So Florida numbers this advantage. They're going to equal that out by playing man down here on the bottom. We've got our safety stacked up here, so we're 3v2. Jaden again can flex over here. Safety here, right? So Florida's showing here Tennessee probably wants to run out of this look. We're comfortable playing man with Jason Marshall at the bottom by himself. We're going to bring him in as an extra run defender and 1 here as well if we need it. And Jaden can flex back and help on any kind of quick slant or quick game behind him. Nickel blitz off the edge. Fill this gap. Take a look at Florida's gap control. Again, this is a significant change from previous seasons. Each player is doing their job. Deny at the point of attack, reroute the runner, make the tackle. 1st and 10 becomes 2nd and long. One of the best things about Tennessee's offense is they predictably put you into man, which is why you have to play man. They're in wide splits. You have to be willing to play man against them. If you just want to sit like Florida sat last year, like lots of other teams, including Alabama sat last year, where you have a safety here and a safety here, and you stay in your 2-high shell and you play zone, you cannot get enough pressure in here. They can run on you. They can also run zone routes on the interior part of the field on you all day long. Tennessee hit almost no passes in this area of the field, which is what you want to do when you play against them. So Florida showing cover one man. No surprise here, letting Tennessee know that's where we are. Perfect alignment here you want to have against Tennessee, especially inside Tech here on the wide side of the field. Deny this in-breaking route, make the longer, harder throw for him here. Play your slots off in general. Your slot defenders off in general, making their route combinations easier to cover because you want to make sure you stay on the right levels. So if they do something they predictably like to do, which are cross, which are good routes, they like to run rub routes, they run a variety of them, you have a right level to be able to switch on them or stay with your man and get through without hitting the traffic. Now, it's not going to happen at the top of your screen, and Florida is going to give up a big play early on, despite the fact that I'm sure they rep this a bunch. Now, why does this happen? Couple of reasons here. One, there is not enough distance, ideally here, with Miguel Mitchell and Tennessee's slot receiver and the relationship here between the press corner. He's close enough that when they run these routes, this is going to cause some issues. All right, now, is this a pick play? Is this a pick play, right? A lot of contact there, running through, a lot of contact there. However, the receiver has a right to run his route. In reality, to me, I'm fine with this not being called in large part because he is going to run this route. You're going to see at the bottom of the screen here too. Tennessee runs this concept every single week. They rarely get called on it. He is allowed to come through here. He is allowed to have the right to this real estate. But the reality is Miguel here, as soon as he sees him break in, when the number one receiver begins to break inside, he knows we're not switching, which means he has to be ready to get some space here, right? Take some space here, so that once this route clears, he's on top of wherever this goes. And if this route becomes a little quick, short route here, that's what you got to give him, right? That's what you're doing in man. Unfortunately, he stays underneath this route, and there is contact here, but he is moving through his route down the field. And although there is contact, you have a right as a receiver to run your route. If this is what his route looks like, he can run that unimpeded. He can run at full speed. He preps for contact largely because Mitchell is standing in his way. I have no problem with this. I do not think this is a pick play by the definition of the rule. It is a rub route, right? These plays, again, very common. Run at all levels if you run them correctly. It's not a pick. You are, of course, trying to pick the player. So if you're sitting there screaming at the lens saying, wait a minute, James, he's trying to pick that player. That's right. They're creating a route combination that creates a natural pick, but he cannot just stop and set a pick. And largely, if you keep moving, don't extend your arms, don't extend outside your frame to block somebody that's around you, you're gonna be fine. He's running right through here. There is contact. He keeps on going. Mitchell turns, and then obviously we get pressure. And so the bummer of this is if Mitchell just uses the technique I am sure he has taught all week of practice, ready for this exact situation, this is no problem. He slides back here for a second. He makes sure he stays off enough to see it. And if that happens, as soon as his route comes in here, he's over here. And then take a look. He'd be right here now on top of this wheel route. And then we'd be getting a sack because Princely comes free. Instead, Milton, under duress, throws actually a very good ball to a wide open receiver, hits him right in the chest. We're off to the races, not a touchdown. However, a very good completion for Tennessee and something Florida saw on film and countlessly practiced all week long. It's a core concept for Tennessee, but we get lost in slightly the wrong positioning and Tennessee takes advantage and moves the ball on Florida. If you want to have success against Tennessee, you also have to be willing to play cover zero, right? No safety. And the reason why is you want to be able to play max numbers in the box in the red zone, use the boundary as your help defender, and be able to comfortably play man right here, right? Do not allow Tennessee to operate in the places of the field they want to operate, and do not let them run the ball for easy scores because you're back here with two safeties playing well off. They're going to take 5 yards, and they're going to take 3 yards, and they're going to score on you, right? So, Florida, proper alignment here. Unfortunately, we're going to get beat very badly. Jason Marshall down here, a potential first-round pick, I think has been putting stuff on film. It's not at that level right now. Every corner gets beat. Does not look like a first-round pick on film right now. He's going to up his game for the film to show that, but he is going to get beat. Focus on this down here very badly with right there. Little inside hesitation move, and he takes the bait. You can see his helmet go to the inside, and that's all it takes. It's over. Milton, not a great ball, but when you're that open, it's all you need. Over the top, touchdown. Little celebration here, putting him to sleep. Go to sleep. I got a baby, right? Put him to sleep. Go to sleep. That's a nice play by Tennessee. And if you're a Florida fan, you're in the stadium, you're thinking this is not good. Florida drove down, missed a field goal. Tennessee converts 1 third down, then goes bomb versus man. And you're thinking, well, we got to play man. I know we got to play man. That's right, but maybe we can't play man. Right? What is going to happen now? So Florida in the hole early on. If you've watched the channel for any amount of time, you know that we talk a lot about the numbers on offense and on defense. You have to get the numbers right. And one thing that Coach Ham has been doing consistently, get the numbers right. When Tennessee has heavy numbers for the run game, so does Florida, right? Florida's at 6, and you can watch this on-film breakdown long. Whether Florida's going to be at 6, 7, 5, or 4 is going to be dictated by what Tennessee has on the other side of the mirror, so to speak. That is sound football, and what that means is when we get a motion out from the running back, Princely moves out. Versatile, right? Versatile D-end here, playing the role of allowing Florida to keep their 2 best linebackers and their 3 defensive linemen intact for the tight front. Princely, Florida's best pass rusher, is not necessarily going to be their best gap control defensive lineman. So this allowed Florida to play their best 5 facing up against the Vols here when they faced this scenario, right, which is 6. They're at disadvantage here. This is 6 with the H-back or the tight end, 7 with the quarterback, but they're going to play 5 on 7, flex run defender here from a safety, and see what happens. That's important for them to hold up. Numbers-wise, see how Tennessee handles this. We're playing 5 on 7 right here, and they are going to, Tennessee correctly, is going to take their numbers advantage, much like Urban Meyer would have at Florida back in the spread 1.0 days, if you will, and say, well, if I've got 7 and you've got 5, I'm going to win, right? Man-to-man out here, essentially. Same thing at the bottom of your screen. Here's a late run defender here, single high safety. So we got to win this battle up front if we're Tennessee, except Florida, exceptional job of gap control. One more time, great job here of gap control, and I want to show you what happens. Let's say this is an overrush, which it is. Look at Shamar James. This is good team football. Look at where he's going. He's immediately going here. Why is he not just running over here to try and make a tackle? Because that's not his job. Because if he just runs over here to try to be a hero and not do his job, and Milton has good vision, he comes out the backside, right? So he knows I need to fill this gap and control now the new edge, right? So I was worried, this is the new edge of the defense. Now I have to control this. And on top of that, Scooby knows he's got to get to the edge, and now we know Castle's got to get down here, and he's got to come in and fill this edge. So here you go, right to the outside, check, great positioning, allowing then inside move here. Now we stop Milton's momentum, make the tackle, bingo. That is assignment football. That's team football. It's 11 guys working as one. That's a 5 versus 7 starting scenario for the defense and a win for Florida's defense. Very promising early on to see that kind of success, 5 versus 7. Speaking of Coach Ham, Austin Armstrong right here, the great Hambino from Sandlot. Love that guy. Budding superstar.
You're killing me, Smalls.
On the good guys. All right. One way to handle the wide splits is to, again, take this distance. Perfect, by the way. Perfect by alignment. You're taking away a slant by alignment. You're also able to help out if you want to, or you're threatening a nickel blitz, which you've already seen once. And Florida's going to elect to nickel blitz here, bring the safety down to play here, and essentially we are now playing man-to-man cover 1, right? Very flexible options here on defense. We're ready for this. We know they want to run screens. We know pre-snap. We know what you know, right? Some game theory here in football. If I know what you know, and if I know if I'm a quarterback and I see this kind of space here, I want to run some quick game out here. I want to open up and see if you come down here, and if you do, I'm taking this shot, right? That's exactly what I want. It's easy football. It's basically an extended handoff. Tennessee elects for this. We're ready for it. We're coming downhill. We're in the face. Look at Jaden Hill. Runs to the outside shoulder. Get your hand in the face. I mean, this is textbook stuff right here. Just misses it. Now we got to make a tackle. Got to make a tackle here. Florida's freshman, Jordan Castell, does not make the tackle. That winds up being a first down on 2nd and 9, but the play call was there. Florida was ready for it, just did not execute. Again, I'm giving a check for that. because the coach's job is to put the team in a position of success. The players then must execute. But Tennessee gets the job done here, resulting in a first down. 1st and 10 now for Tennessee. Something that really helped Florida and hurt Tennessee in this game were procedural penalties. A false start here from Tennessee is going to back them up for 1st and 15. And although Tennessee's offense last year, very explosive, a very high yards per pass, above 11 yards per pass at times, this edition of Tennessee is actually below 6.5 coming into this game. Not the same kind of offense. 1st and 15 for them was going to be much more challenging than last year's edition. So this sets up a 1st and 15. Can really start to get a feel for how Heupel, in my opinion, does not really trust Joe Milton, something we said entering this game based on what you see on film, and you're going to see it here. Tennessee is trying to gadget the easiest possible throws for him at this point in time, despite the fact that he did hit 2 really solid vertical throws early on. They were both open, but he hit them both. They're still largely trying to go east-west, even though Florida is showing looks where that's not what is going to be open. Florida, again, man-to-man. You can see this is for Shamar James' responsibility here. We now pass this off to Scooby. Now it becomes Scooby's responsibility. He signals it here, right? Different look. Tennessee is now going to try to hit the same thing. Scooby realizes I got to get out here on my horse to get this play. He's there, however, misses the tackle because he's just a touch late, right? Also, in general, if you're this defender, what do we want to do? We want to get to the outside, right? Get to the outside, force him as much as we can to either flatten this out of bounds or beat him to the outside because we know that our help is on the inside. Scooby doesn't quite get there. Can't quite get him. And now Jaden Hill throws off his man, which is nice, and make a tackle. So they do gain 6 yards there. Florida right defense, better execution by Tennessee. They pick up yards and make it 2nd down and 9.5. 2nd and 9, how's Florida playing defense? We have the tight front in here. We have Princely here, flexed out, looking like we're playing man potentially. Now Florida runs a split safety, so we could zone this and man this. You don't know pre-snap. Let's let it unfold because we have Princely up there. You probably don't want Princely man-to-man over here, right? That can't be a good idea. That's exactly what you're going to see happening there is Florida is, in fact, going to play a zone. Princely's going to pass off that wheel route. There you go. Florida's going to shift in the back end, which you can't see. A safety here, and then keep a safety here, and elect to go straight man here. So we've got a combo coverage. Florida also numbers in the box-wise, keeping 6 at home here because Tennessee has 7. All right, so sound football at the pre-snap. Marshall again matched up, bottom of your screen. And again, he is going to lose. Inside move faked here. Outside release. He is beat. But thankfully, overthrow Joe with his super strong arm overthrows this ball by too much. But you can see right here that Marshall is beat. Now, this is not an easy ball to make. It's far down the field, right? One of the downsides of Tennessee's offense are you take a lot of vertical shots. These shots are not automatic. It's not a handoff anymore. But this ball is there. Play can be made. Overthrows him by a good 4 yards. And a missed opportunity for Tennessee. And an early, difficult first quarter for Jason Marshall. You got to love what you're about to see here on film, especially after what we've endured as Florida fans for a while. If you're not a Florida fan, then maybe you won't love this. But this is sound football, no matter who or where you're coming from. So, again, what does Tennessee challenge you to do here? Everything has to be right. This look seems simple. We start with the bunch set. Move the running back out. Now we have a quad set essentially over here. If you do not have your numbers correct, right, then you're not going to be in a place to make the stop here. Florida right away going to work 2 by 1. 2 by 1. Check what the numbers there. We're advantaged over here. Florida is content then to play something we saw Georgia do, which is 4 versus 6 in here. 4 versus 6 in here. That's a tall order, right? And now, flex defender, notice the positioning of Scooby. He's in between the running back and the right tackle. Why? In case Milton wants to come up here, he can help and flex this play. Safeties, eyes in the backfield here as well, so they can come in downhill and help as well. So Florida in a 2 high look. And how will they handle on this side of the formation, this quad set? They're going to handle it perfectly. Right away, Jaden Hill comes down and releases to the outside, splits to the outside. He's going to be the low hole defender. And then look at Florida's positioning from here. To the outside, to the inside shoulder, beating him to the outside. Again, why are we turning outside? Because we know we have help coming from the inside, right? Assignment football, team football. Jaden Hill wins. He's in great position. Here comes Scooby. He's in great position. Now where is he going? Nowhere. Let's make the tackle, put him down, get off the field. A quick stop for Florida. Excellent alignment football. Look, a lot of battles on defense are won simply by how you align your players. Now, it's easier said than done. Tennessee's throwing pre-snap motions at you. They're throwing different formations at you. They're running tempo at you. All 11 of your players have to communicate very clearly, very quickly, must line up in the right spots for this to work. When it does work, it looks easy. It is not easy to get all of that to happen, especially with how much turnover Florida's defense has had. It's nothing short of remarkable in my eyes how quickly Austin Armstrong has turned this defense into what it already is. To get all these players, again, coordinated, lined up, moving, gap controlling, things we never saw last year for the most part, on film this quickly at this kind of level, very, very impressive. We saw Utah get Florida several times by shifting the defensive line before the snap, a common tactic used, and here goes Florida again, aggressive shift, and they get the center. We saw the same thing happen to Florida. Whoop, they get him, right? Maybe he gets a little scared. He sees Big Dez here, and he thinks, man, I don't want any part of this guy. This guy is an absolute mountain. I got to go. He's moving. I got to snap. Let's go. Oop, my bad. Bam, false start, another 1st and 15. Tennessee undeterred. They keep the same play on. And again, look at this formation Tennessee's running here. Stack, right, 1. So you got 3 up top, 2 at the bottom. How does Florida counter? Florida's countering right now with 3-on-3. And then essentially right here, 2-on-2 with 6 in the box, which tells you a lot about what Florida thinks this play is going to be. They're not buying this is going to be an all-out empty passing play that is vertical. They're buying it's going to be something closer to the line of scrimmage. And then look at this nice little adjustment Florida runs here. Here's Florida's freshman TJ Searcy, who's been popping up on film. On the motion, look at Florida's adjustment. Shamar James slides over. Searcy bumps out here for a second, comes back, settles in. So now, what do we have numbers-wise, right? We're 5 here versus 6 here. Let's zoom out for a second. 5 here versus 6 here. 2v1 here. And then up top of your screen, although you can't see it, top of your screen, we're 4v4, we're 4-on-4 over here, right? With a flex defender right here. So again, this becomes your 5th. He becomes your versatile Swiss Army knife. He's got to help on both fronts. And this is why this play is going to work on 1st and 15, because you have this right here. One more time. Shamar slides over. We're in the perfect position. Where are we? We're split between the right tackle and the running back in between them, so we can cover the inside route and get over the top on anything outside, right? Here it is. Bam. Can't block this. Football by alignment. Football by alignment and numbers. Easy game to play. Shamar misses this tackle, unfortunately, but here comes Scooby. We talked about him being the extra up defender. It's perfect football, right? Flow to the football, help out. Next guy there, Scooby, helps to make the tackle, along with obviously a guy I've been seeing popping on film, Jaden Hill at nickel, and this becomes a 3-yard gain. Could have been another play that wound up in 0 yards had the tackle made right away. Instead, a missed tackle still results in a very short gain for Tennessee. Tennessee throwing the kitchen sink at Florida. There is no one at the bottom of your screen. All 11 players are right here where you see them. They're going to see how Florida lines up numbers-wise, and right away we can see that we have 4, looks like maybe 5 over 4. On top of that, 5 in the box versus what looks to be perhaps too heavy of a box for Florida, 7, right? 5v7, but we've seen Florida win with that. That's significant. Now let's watch it play out. In comes Castle down here, making this, as we just talked about, a 5v4. Florida's going to play very aggressively on the screen part, which is excellent. It's great football. Shamar James takes away the easy throw right away. We know Joe Milton likes those. Good scouting. And now we can see Tennessee's actually going to be going for a bomb, sending verticals. And in fact, they would have had something with this route coming in over here had they had enough time. Milton's never even looking at it. The rest of the routes are completely walled off and bottled up in here. But this in-breaking route deep would have been a big hitter for Tennessee had he had the time. But Florida's going to win right here, 4v6. Florida's coming in, 4v6. They're going to win this battle. Boom. Big hit. Look at Dez. Look at Dez right here. I want you to watch this thing of beauty. Double team. Here's Dez. Gets around it. working one-on-one, driving up the field, comes in, big-time hit, right? Big-time hit, and now we got a pop fly. Here is the aforementioned wide-open Tennessee receiver that was going to be a big play for Tennessee. He's not actually trying to throw him the football, though. Joe Milton, from what all accounts it seems to be, is looking this way, trying to throw to a vertical route that was actually double covered. So Milton does not see the route that should have been thrown to. He's trying to throw deep, deep down the field over here. And then Devin Moore with an easy punt return pick. We're off to the races. Devin Moore, nice job of setting Florida up all the way in Tennessee territory after this pick. A penalty would lead Florida to be even closer to start. Huge play in the game with Florida being up 12-7 at this point in time. The defense setting the tone, not allowing Tennessee to do anything they want, despite the fact Tennessee is throwing a variety of looks at them and pre-snap motions. Florida's alignment is sound. That's the first play we've seen that wasn't just somebody getting beat, where Tennessee did confuse Florida, but Florida's pressure in the front four wins and prevents what could have been a big play. So Tennessee's play call there does work. They do get an open player. However, Florida counters the pressure. Big Dez in the face of Joe Milton, resulting in the first pick Milton has thrown in quite some time. After another penalty for Tennessee, thank you, Swamp. Way to bring the fire. Florida's home environment, always one of the best in college football when the team is good and the defense is good. Certainly the loudest stadium, if not, of course, one of the top 2 or 3 loudest, depending on who you might be biased towards. But a difficult environment for offenses to operate in, and very difficult when you get good alignment football-wise. Top of your screen, although you cannot see it, Tennessee has 2 receivers here, countered by Florida with 2 on top and a safety here. So we're 3-by-2 up top. On the bottom, we're basically rolling one-on-one, and we are in man. We are in man, 2 safety look, run defender here. Got a strong safety who can come down, help out on the run, and we are again 6-on-8. So we're -2, but we've already seen that Florida's been very successful, undernumbered in the box. This is a big reason why Florida had a lot of success versus Tennessee. Immediately, we're holding up at the line of scrimmage. We're also coming in to fill these gaps, something we have not seen on film from Florida in previous years. And because of that, there is nowhere to go. Despite the fact that Florida is undernumbered, nowhere to go, stuffing this play just a couple of yards on 1st and 15, setting up Tennessee again in a bad down and distance. Once again, Tennessee stays in the same exact formation. They see something they like. Last time they tried to run, Florida facing the same exact setup, 2 receivers up top. Florida, same exact scenario going on here. Just like last time, nothing's different. Florida, same thing numbers-wise. 8 here, 6 here. 8 here, 6 here. Let's run it back. We can play anything you want to play. And in this case, Tennessee elects this time to try a pass. All right, fine. Now Tennessee is operating against the numbers. This is what good coordinating does. This is what good strategy and tactics do, is they force teams to now go against the numbers. Now you have the advantage. Tennessee is only sending 3 players out. They have 8 players in here. Florida's only rushing 4. They have 7 players versus 4. That is good numbers football. Great work, Coach Ham. On top of that, you get Sapp providing an excellent speed rush off the edge and then getting a sack along with Princely right here. Meet at the quarterback, no escape on the outside. Bam, put him down and celebrate that big 94. Excellent play again by Florida's defense. Look, the fans are feeling it. We have suffered on defense for multiple years now. Not a lot of suffering going on right now. We are dictating the tempo and the pace. Film shows it right now. Tennessee facing an onslaught of solid numbers football, solid alignment football, and then downhill football when Florida knows what Tennessee might be doing, whether it be run or pass. But a really nice 2-play sequence of Tennessee first trying to run, then trying to pass, neither being successful. 3rd and 20. We've seen Florida give those up in the past. It's worth showing. 7-5, right? Good numbers here, 7-5. Tennessee says, look, forget it. We're electing to just play this safe and punt it. We got 7 versus 5. Maybe we'll pick up 10, 12 yards right here. Cersei around the edge, winning his battle. Look at the defensive tackles holding up, right? They're not trying to do each other's job. They're going to hold these lines. It's really important, as that allows your linebackers and your safeties to enter into the picture. And because they're holding the line right here, Tennessee runs right into the tackle, right? I mean, that is just such good football by Florida. That is football, again, tackling by alignment, right? Tackling by alignment, they gain 6 yards when Florida's undermanned yet again. And Sapp knows it. Hey, look, we got you, boys. It's time to punt yet again. All right, 2:22 left in the half. Florida up 26-7. Who saw that coming, right? If you had that on your bingo card, congratulations. You're about the only one. On top of this, look at this stat. Opening drive touchdown. You've already seen it. Since then, 1 first down. 1 first down, right? And 1 missed big play, but not a lot of other stuff out there. Not a lot of stuff out there. This is not Tennessee necessarily inflicting harm upon themselves. It's Florida dictating the pace of play and the style of play to Tennessee. All right, what do we get here on 1st and 10? Again, Florida, late shift. Look at the clock right here. This is awesome stuff from Florida, sitting here in too high. Looks like this is wide open. We're going to wait till there's 2 seconds on the clock. Then we're going to move Princely over, and that dictates, look at this, got to call timeout. Tennessee wasted a ton of timeouts in this football game. Crowd noise, alignment of Florida, confusion in general, didn't like what they saw, right? Timeout, wasted timeouts, a story and a factor in this game in the first half as well as in the second half, and that would help contribute to Florida's victory. One of the keys to the game was definitely going to be Florida containing Tennessee's rushing. Although Tennessee does like to have a vertical passing attack, it is fueled by running with the superior numbers, as we continue to highlight all throughout this film review. And Florida has done an excellent job at stopping that. Once again here, Florida electing to play man defense, too high, right? We can rotate 1 in, either one to come help in the run. And then Tennessee with 8 here, which means you know that Florida's going to have 6 here. Florida was content to play -2 the entire time. 3rd and 2, let's play it out and see what happens. Going to run a little zone inside. Again, tight front does what? Plugs up the inside, right? You cannot go in here. It's a no-go zone, meaning you got to bounce this outside somewhere. Here comes your safety to rotate down. And then Scooby, going to get on this block, but can't quite get off this block in time. Goes for the tackle, and he just turns the corner on him. Now, Florida elected to be more conservative than they have in the past. They expected the time left. Tennessee might, in this scenario, attempt to take a shot on 3rd and 2, knowing they may potentially go for it on 4th down. So, Coach Ham elects to be a little more conservative rather than having what we've seen before, which would be cover 1 safety here, rotate him down in here, and which just would have stopped this play. He elects to see if he can stop it 6v8, knowing Tennessee may want to bounce this outside. Scooby almost there. Conversion does occur. Crucial possession for Tennessee as they get the ball back to start the second half. If they can score and get the ball back, they can almost instantly make it a game again in the second half. So Florida looking for a big stop. Tennessee with a big 3rd down conversion, their first one in quite some time. All right, 2nd and 5, 7v5. I'm going to keep showing you this just for quick reference. Florida electing to play 3-on-2 here and 3-on-2 here, right? Happy to be undernumbered all day long versus this Tennessee team. 2nd and 5, Tennessee, you have to run the ball here. Look, if you're Heupel, you're a Tennessee fan, if you cannot win these 7-on-5 matchups, you cannot win. Your offense will not work. The engine does not work. You cannot consistently win behind the numbers in football. Now, Florida experienced this with Kyle Trask when they literally could not run the football at all, and Trask was able to move Florida down the field, passing the ball game after game after game. It's not easy. It's very difficult. And obviously, in the case of Tennessee with Milton, he is not Kyle Trask. He does not have that accuracy. That's not a viable option. You have to be able to run the football in these situations, but Florida's technique here is just perfect. And again, it's a completely different situation from last year. What are we doing here at the 4? We're going to make sure our 3-down linemen bottle this inside stuff up. Linebacker here is free to roam. Prince is going to lock down his edge. He's on edge control to make sure that Milton cannot keep this, right? Guard the edge. And then notice how we're not just diving in here trying to make a tackle right away. Excellent discipline. Gap control, gap control, gap control. Now we're free to make a tackle. Now Princely waits. Combo this, put him down. 5v7 win. Excellent defense. 3rd and 6 now for Tennessee. A ton of time is run off the clock. The previous play, Tennessee spent the entire play clock trying to then adjust their play. One of the big benefits of Tennessee's offense are you get to the line quickly. It gives the quarterback a long time to diagnose what the defense is in. A lot of defenses are not coordinated enough to be able to change what they are in. So if Tennessee sees something, they make the audible adjustment. The defense stays in the same thing and they get beat. The previous play, Tennessee audibled, Florida audibled, Tennessee called timeout. So that burned 30 seconds. That was some high-level stuff happening there, which sets up now for this play. Florida electing to show you pre-snap they're going to play safe. We're still not in field goal range. Tennessee with one timeout left. Florida willing to give up perhaps a first down here, but not a touchdown. Again, Tennessee has the capability of scoring a touchdown at a given time. You got to keep that in mind, especially with Milton's arm. We got 5 here in the box versus Tennessee's 7 here in the box, the classic -2. And then we have a zone down here on the bottom and man up top, right? So we're combo covering our split safety. We're walling this off here. We'll play 3v2 on either side, underman by 2 on the run. We know Tennessee probably wants to pass here, and we're going to look up top right away. He opens up, knows he has 2x2 here. Perfect positioning, as we talked about. Play off the ball, given how Tennessee's routes are. Give yourself a leveling concept in case they want to cross, which we've seen before. Then give yourself a chance to help out on any in-breaking route by stepping down on quick game, which Tennessee likes. This is a quick game route. No drop here from Milton. Play fake, set the foot. He wants to throw right now. He's ready, which means it's a quick game. It's a slant. And here comes Florida's defense. Devin Moore right there. Even if this ball is caught, it's going to be 4th down. But we get one more bonus. We talked about this last year. Florida rarely ever had their defensive linemen putting their hands up in passing lanes. Well, this year, that is different, right? Look at the gap control. Look at Florida's gap control. One unit just pushing back together into the quarterback bubble on quick game. Put the hand up, get a tip right here, and then knock this play out before it can even go anywhere. Excellent defense by Florida. A crucial stop to keep this lead intact. Really a masterclass defensive effort from Florida in the first half, especially given where they came from last year to where they already are this year. And a mastery level displayed by Coach Austin Armstrong, showing what he knows, what he's capable of communicating to his players to get them to know, and how quickly and efficiently they were able to largely handle the game plan. That is superstar level stuff in the college ranks for a guy who is barely, getting going, right? I mean, this guy is the youngest defensive coordinator in their country, and he comes in versus one of the best offensive minds in the game, one of the hardest challenges to face at the college level with what they throw at you, and puts together a masterclass. So at halftime we go with Florida with a huge lead and the defense feeling good. All right, second half, second down, Tennessee, second and long here, second and 14. And Florida, you already know, if you see 6 players here, you already know Tennessee has 8 here, right? You're on top of that. Gets another stuff on the run. Look at number 6 here, Shamar James. Lock up his gap and then latch on, make the tackle with help from Florida's freshman safety, Jordan Castle. Right? Really, really great stuff, setting up a crucial 3rd and long and setting the tone in this second half that Florida's defense is not going to be prone to a letdown. All right, 3rd and 11. Can Florida get off the field again? Tennessee just 2 of 5 on 3rd downs. We've saw their 3rd down conversion rates not good on the season. Has Tennessee cooked anything different up for Florida this half? We shall see. They're electing to go with the screen this time. Florida playing further off than we have seen on 3rd and 11. They've got the down and distance in their favor, and now we're going to see the same thing we have seen before. Let's see how it plays out. Right away, outside release by Jaden Hill. Check. Great job. Force him back to the inside where you need your help, right? Princely gets lost a little bit with where this ball actually goes. So now Florida is 3 on 3. Shamar James just needs to make this tackle. He is Florida's best tackling linebacker, and we're fine. Has him trapped right here. Jaden Hill gets blown out of this play. Really good block from Tennessee here, just driving Jaden Hill 4 or 5 yards back. That really changes this play for Florida. If Jaden Hill does not get blocked so significantly here, this play ends. But some good blocking. You better believe Tennessee got lit into with their half-game speech. Now their halftime speech. So they're fired up, right? But here's Shamar James. We're latched on. We've seen this before. Once Shamar gets you, you're going down. Plus, we've got Miguel Mitchell coming in the picture. Let's just make a tackle. Right, and I think Mitchell really just gets lost and tackles the wrong guy, which is pretty unfortunate. in this situation. Look, Mitchell comes in, and he's messing with the wrong guy. So Mitchell, you messed up, you missed this one. And then who actually makes the tackle here after Shamar rolls off is, in fact, Jaden Hill, who remarkably emerges from his block and makes this tackle, but not before Tennessee converts a rather miraculous behind the line of scrimmage, 3rd and 11, which Florida had been shutting down all game long, except for when they missed a tackle, which they did here as well. So again, check for the defensive play call. Execution does not work out, but you're putting your players in a position to succeed. You have your best linebacker versus a matchup he's typically going to win with a tackle that would have set up 4th and 3 or 4. Then you get your inexperienced safety coming down, tackling the wrong guy, and that leads to barely a conversion. Much better than being a wide open or easy pitch and catch. But Tennessee is in business and a crucial conversion as it stands, because you get that stop, Tennessee probably feels like we're just mailing it in, right? This is not our day. But instead, conversion, maybe new life for them. This play, perhaps better than any of the other ones we have shown this far, illustrates the different mentality Florida has this season on defense. So Tennessee opens up here 2x2, wide splits. Again, we have 7 in the box right down here. Florida's going to counter with 5. It's 3rd and 1. Now, this option for Tennessee generally is a big advantage. It's 3rd down and 1. One of the nice things about spreading the field like this is you should, in theory, if you have 7 and they have 5, and a quarterback who can run, be able to convert this almost every time. Florida now counters something we've already seen. We're going to make sure Jaden Hill is in this window, and we're also going to have the same window here by Princely. And we can blitz these guys if we want and bet it's going to be a run, or we can flex them and have them watch what you're doing. So it offers Florida a lot of flexibility with how to attack Tennessee. Despite this being a short play, then Tennessee elects to bring everyone in and do something they typically do not do, and now we're calling timeout. Right again, so Florida's advantage here. Tennessee lines up. There's confusion. They're not sure what they want to do. Florida's football defense by alignment is causing problems for Tennessee, right? That is the key. Half the battle is really just getting lined up correctly, something we've said for years in the podcast and also now for years on film review. Florida doing an excellent job of it. Tennessee wasting a first time out of the half. They're going to wind up bringing another one later on offense on a relatively routine play for them because they cannot get everything in sync. All right, after the timeout, they elect to just come out and line up in this. Let's get the same thing going here. And again, huge change in Florida's defensive mentality. It's 3rd down and 1. Look how many players Florida has on the line of scrimmage. We are not playing this safe. We are going for it. We are attempting to stop them from converting this 3rd and 1. We are not just going to let them have it. We get a good jump here on the quarterback sneak. They go with a little jet sweep handoff. Outside leverage right here. Good job by Jaden Hill. Get outside. Let your inside players get downhill and make this tackle. There's Scooby. Contact right at the line of scrimmage. Followed by your safety coming downhill in the box and Miguel Mitchell. This is what you want. You want to tell teams that if you have to get 3rd and 1 and you can barely get it, it's going to be hard for you to score. We are not going to give you anything. We are not afraid of you. And Florida's not going to say to teams anymore, hey, you've got a nice offense with wide splits and a vertical passing game and a quarterback who can throw it 90 yards. We're just going to line up and let you have this and stay safe off the ball. Not how Florida's going to play this year. All right, 1st and 10, 6v8 for Florida. Again, you better believe that halftime speech was one of fire and brimstone. We need to start winning this battle. What Tennessee does, early adjustment is, all right, if you're going to play this tight front in here, we're going to counter by sending some power running, right? Forget the zone blocking. We're going to run some power. We're going to bring a guard through, and then we're going to bring our tight end through. Straight through the same gap here. Comes your guard. Coming through is your lead blocker here, right? So guard comes through, hits the B gap, coming through the A gap. Running back going to follow either one of those. So it's a two-way run. Kick out here. You can come here. You can come here. But let's see if we can't get something going right up the middle. Florida touches. First touch here at about 2.5 yards. No problem. Then gets carried along for the ride. Right, Tennessee fired up here, throwing him across for the first down, trying to make a statement. We're not just going to go away. We have too much pride for that, and we're going to see what you can do about it, Florida. Can you answer the bell? Florida with 6, Tennessee with 8. Same exact formation we just saw previously. This time, zone run from Tennessee. Just a simple inside zone. Penetration by Princely starts this off correctly, and then Princely makes the tackle, right? Right away. Previous play, Florida had contact at the 2+ mark. This time contact behind the line of scrimmage. Quick tackle, second down, and long. Tennessee starting in 2x2. Again, throwing a lot of pre-snap motion at Florida, moving back into the same formation we just saw, except only flipped. Florida, again, numbers-wise, 6v8. They're content with that. And then only to send the running back out. Shamar James is going to follow. Now we're 5v7. We've changed the numbers. We've also brought Florida's safety down in the box now. Right, we've changed the look a little bit. All of this to try to get Milton to be able to win a battle here with Florida's 5 versus now Tennessee's 6. Right, 5 versus Tennessee's 6 plus Milton 7. So again, under Urban, if your 7th guy's the quarterback, that's a win for you. 7v5. You got to be able to win. You have a plus blocker. You got to be able to gain yards here. You got Tim Tebow, 3, 4, 5, 10, 12 yards of play. With Milton, what can they rustle up? Right away, Florida decides to bring the unblocked man to control the edge. We're going to bring this here. We're going to hold the line of scrimmage here. And now we're going to bring our safety down in the box to this gap. So Florida is creating, they're dictating the gap that Milton will run through. Rather than simply wait for something to happen to them, Florida says, if you want to play this way, we know a quarterback run is likely here. We're going to make sure we deny this quick screen. We're going to fly up the field here to force you into our funnel. We are essentially rerouting you into our funnel. We're simplifying the field. And then here it comes. Again, here's your lead blocker coming out here. Now there is no more blocker. And then we are coming through to make this tackle on 2nd and 9, which Florida does, setting up a 3rd and short. So again, how does Florida want to deal with Tennessee playing 7-on-5 with the 7th guy being the quarterback? These gains, although positive here for Tennessee, are still setting up high leverage downs. It's taking them a long time to move the football. It's creating precision from them on every single play in order for them to score. Another procedural penalty from Tennessee brings up 3rd and 9. They really hurt themselves in that department. 3rd and 9. Now Florida's going to give them the most different look they have, really, of the entire game. Florida's going to come out and play a true zone with a corner blitz. So they're giving them a very, very different look here, hoping that Milton will see this as the open receiver, as Florida fans into this and rotates down to make the tackle short of the sticks. That is what Milton sees. They love these throws with Tennessee. This is sort of their ideal favorite throw to make. And again, Florida taking a risk with this. This is not something you would want to do frequently versus them. They will tear this stuff up. But as an exploitative strategy, I think that Coach Ham is hoping here to catch them and then make this tackle short of the sticks. The ball is thrown short of the sticks. Here comes your safety. You have the tacklers you need. Contact made, a good 3.5 yards behind the first down. Let's finish the tackle right here. That's Princely. Let's finish this. Freshman Jordan Castell. Let's finish this. Let's finish it. Go low and finish. Nope. This is a strong dude. We've already seen him blocking Jaden Hill, right? 34 means business. Sometimes you got to give a guy credit. However, for Florida here, you want to see, again, your freshman safety is going to get better at this. It's time to come hit, right? Princely's got him wrapped up. It's time to come hit. Come finish this. Get low and finish this. Get them off the field. Comes in late, comes in slow. Finishes the play, but it's too late. Damage done. Another crucial 3rd down pickup from Tennessee, and they're back in business. All right, some more pre-snap motion here from Tennessee, trying everything they can to get Florida off their game. Shamar now moving out. Okay, let's go back in, right? Let's change it up again. Florida signaling to counter. Now we're right back to where we started, which is 6 versus 8. Tennessee with a different formation now, putting their tight end a little bit split to the inside, split to the outside rather. And they're trying to hit a little shot right here with him, right? Seeing how Florida adjusts to this look. You see Shamar James, he's in zone. He's going to widen this out, attempt to reroute. Because he reroutes himself so far wide, he leaves it. Sliding out, gets some depth, make this throw difficult. Florida's defensive line again. Put your hands up, right? Take a look. Boom. Great move early on. Win at the line of scrimmage, get penetration, put your hands up, swat a pass down. This is a tight window. Safety over the top. There's a tight window for this ball to be made. This ball, of course, could have been made in here. Could have been a completion on 2nd and 7. Really one of the few times Tennessee even tried to throw anything over the middle part of the field. And one major reason why is Florida was just denying that part of the football field. That tipped pass winds up harmlessly going to the dirt. Could have been a different situation had it gone somewhere else, maybe the second pick. Either way, Florida sets up 3rd and 7. Again, with just excellent football, especially from the defensive line. Getting pursuit, putting their hands up, getting in throwing lanes, making life hard for Joe Milton. Tennessee burns their second timeout on this drive alone, which is the opening drive of the third quarter. You can see how much Florida's defense in the crowd is affecting them. Again, a lot of that just football by alignment. Now let's watch the chess match that goes on here. Crucial 3rd down and 7, right? Crucial 3rd down and 7, 2-by-2 formation here for Tennessee. This is really good scouting from Florida. Let's look at the alignment here. Jaden Hill is to the inside, despite the fact that clearly Florida has no safety help here on the edge, right? Imagine that Tennessee simply wants to run a go route followed by an out route. Florida is giving you this throw pre-snap. They're literally telling you, we will give you this throw because we think you want to go inside. We are stacking to the inside. We are not going to allow that. Inside leverage here, inside leverage here. We're going to force you to do what you seemingly do not want to do. And let's see what Tennessee tries to do. Well, look at this. Slant and a slant. We're going double slant. Florida's going to bracket this. We're taking away the easiest throw. Let's make them make the harder throw. Far hash, slant route. Hard to complete that for a first down. We're zoning off the bottom down here. Sitting in again. Look, reroute early on, right? Come down on this over here. And now we're going to make this a far field throw. And because of that, because of this distance on this throw, also hand up here again. Right there, hand up. Because this is on this throw, that allows Florida to come down right there and separate from the ball, right? Jalen Kimber, enough time to be able to come and make this plays on top of the route, coming downhill, driving with leverage, hand on the ball, stop that 3rd and 7, bringing up 4th and 7, and Tennessee must settle for a field goal. They burn 5.5 minutes of clock only to get a field goal. That is a win for Florida's defense, despite the fact that Tennessee really should have never gotten any points on this drive anyway, as Florida made several tackles before the first down marker, only to get carried across it. So Tennessee earned this, but look how much it took resource-wise. 5.5 minutes, 2 timeouts, a plethora of pre-snap formations, moves, etc. They were throwing the book at Florida, and Florida's defense answered the call. Second down now for Tennessee. Florida back to the 6 versus 8 alignment, and now got the conflict defender here in Jaden Hill playing either or. Could have a safety come down, could bail and play it safe. Florida's going to like to play it safe here, where Jaden Hill then becomes a zone defender. He's reading the release right here of the eligible tight end. As soon as he goes out for a pass, he knows he must stay and make this play, which he does. He walls him off nicely, funneling him to the safety. Jason Marshall funneling him in here. Let's create this little triangle and let's funnel what we want. Up top, Tennessee has the look they really want. They're going to run a vertical clear out here. Florida is playing safe, backing both safeties off, leaving this route wide open. However, Joe Milton is not concerned with completing a very easy ball here. Instead, he wants to go for the glory, despite the fact that both of Florida's defenders are running deep on this, at least initially. Right here, ball's up. And now you can see the responsibility for that is Jordan Castile, as Marshall was coming down here to clamp on this route, which was in fact open. And we're one-on-one here. Castile is beat. This ball's a bomb. If you ask me, that's holding, potentially pass interference. Florida gets away with one here. But then as he's setting up to play the ball, there's a lot of hand fighting. This right here becomes more clean, although you can see he's got kind of the back of his jersey there, just at least a little bit. They definitely let the boys play on this one, and rightfully so. However, here, I think, again, if I'm a receiver, I'm probably campaigning more about that. I kind of think I had the advantage. I feel like really he was into me early. But once the ball did get there, the play for both of them was to play the ball. And I think that's largely why the officials let this go. But without a doubt, Florida's in trouble right here. This is not a good look, right? We're reaching. We are in trouble. Pass interfere with this guy because otherwise it's going to be a huge gain. Let's make it a 15-yarder instead. Turn him around some, slow him down, fight for the ball. But nice work by Florida to get back on that. If you are beat some, that's the right thing to do, and perhaps you don't get a call. If you think there should have been a call, then great, there should have been a call. Doesn't matter now. It wound up being a no call. But a lot of contact either way. You want to make contact if you're beat as a DB in college football. It is to your advantage to do so in that regard. And Jordan Castell comes up there with a pass breakup on 2nd down and 10. Milton, again, should have taken the easier throw there, take the first down, especially when Florida was on top of that, as much as they were when he threw it. However, regardless, they did wind up with a shot. Florida comes out on top of this one. 3rd and 10, and this is when, as a defensive coordinator, you know that you have really exhausted the man across the sideline from you, is your alignment is putting so much pressure on them. Once again, here's Florida's nickel. Jaden Hill played a sensational game. Inside alignment, Florida safeties lined up where? Well to the inside. Look how close they are to each other. They can help on the run. They can also take away the most likely passes that Tennessee wants to run on these situations. They love to attack right here. So Tennessee loves to attack. They basically couldn't do it against Florida. Florida said those are going to be no-go zones for you. Florida going to bring everyone on this one, everyone being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Florida did not often send all 6. Sending all 6 here coming through. Nobody gets home, which is unfortunate. And this is an absolute dime from Joe Milton. And these are the kind of passes you want to give up on 3rd and 10. It's great coverage by Hill. Much better pass. I mean, that is a just filthy dime. It's disgusting. Jaden Hill right there does make the tackle. No shame in that from Jaden. Offenses are going to make good plays against you, especially the higher you go in football, the more this will be true. And this is a defense which you want to make your opposition do. Again, Tennessee knows that Florida's walling off the inside. Their singular play is to take a seam go route where they know at least they'll have the outside shoulder. Milton climbs the pocket and delivers a cold rope. I mean, that is a sensational throw. And that's what's frustrating about Milton, is he can make that throw and then miss a bunch of others. That is a high level throw. And Tennessee converts. No shame on that from Florida there. Sometimes you got to just tip your hat to the opposition and say, nice play, and go on to the next one. Tennessee coming out in a double stack set. When Tennessee does this, they tend to prefer to run a screen with this here and then block this. There's a lot of other combinations you can run out of this. Actually, I think the stack set's a really versatile and underutilized set in college football. There's so many more things you could do with this formation. I'll save that topic for another day. But the base and simplest utilization is what Tennessee does. Again, I think there's a lot more that can be done. Florida knows this. You know this. I know this. So how does Florida handle this? Well, Tennessee's going to give them a wrinkle because Tennessee knows, hey, look, it looks like so far we're in the middle of 3rd quarter. Coach Ham knows what's up with our offense. We need to give them some window dressing so they don't know what we're going to do. And that window dressing here is in the form of 7 right here. Now notice Florida's adjustment versus 6. 7 versus 6. Interesting by Florida. Florida chooses in the stack adjustment to play 2x2 here with cover 1 with an extra man in the box. Florida knowing it's most likely a screen, but also preventing the run. So Florida playing heavier on run than we have seen for this play. We're going to bring edge here, make sure we bottle up the edges and force everything to our players on the inside. Tennessee counters by saying, great, we want you to do that. Now we have numbers that we like. We have a safety that's basically outside of our control. We have 2v2 here. Perhaps we can get an easy win for a big play because we're not going to get help in the form of this. So there's your play, RPO. Let's get the ball outside, except Florida counters with just excellent work here by Kimber. Let's make the tackle a little more committed, right? Again, if Kimber's a little more committed here, this is going to be an even better play for Florida. Instead, on 2nd and 9, Tennessee does gain yards. But one more time with Kimber. Great recognition. RPO, not still peeking inside here. Doesn't matter. Watching his assignment. Now climbing past the block, setting himself up in a good position to be able to use the sideline, wall off the inside here, use the sideline, make a tackle. Excellent stuff setting up 3rd down. 3rd and 3 again is how is Florida content to handle this? Tennessee 8 here, Florida 6 here. Florida's still playing a little safe here, playing 3v2, playing one-on-one here, another safety to help in the run. Right? So we're not totally loaded up. We're not going cover 0. We're not selling out because, frankly, Florida hasn't had to. They've been successful under the numbers. And again, if you're a Tennessee fan, this is not tenable for you. You cannot succeed unless you're able to pick up 3rd and 3 when you are +2 in the numbers. Florida saying we think we can still handle this. We're going to fill the gaps, which we do. Make a tackle here again, just short of the first down. Come in there. There you go. There you go, Jordan. We saw this earlier. Don't let him get the first down. Stick him, push him back. Finish that tackle. 4th and 1 now for Tennessee. Every yard matters. Jordan Castle comes downhill, sets up a 4th and 1. That 4th and 1 is now going to matter. Rather than just giving them that first down, right? We're not going to do that. We're going to make them earn it. And by making them earn it, we're going to see if they can get it. What do we have here? Tennessee, 1 receiver out here man-to-man. Florida's still going to keep a single high safety up here yet. Not ready to totally bet the farm. But Florida going to play 9 in the box versus Tennessee's 10. So if we've done well -2, how do we do -1? Should be pretty good given what we're doing, right? Florida, again, perfect technique on their run defense. Look at how Florida controls where the play goes. Right off the start, we're going to control the edge. We're going to bottle you into where we want you to go. You are not going to get a bounce out run. You are not going to get a zone read. It's not going to happen. You're going to beat us right in here. And if you do, we will congratulate you. Great penetration. Look at our linebacker flying through here. Scooby already filling a gap on this side. And now we're left right here to fill another gap. Here we go with Shamar. And there's nowhere to go. Look at this. Look at this teamwork wall off. Here comes your linebacker flying through. I mean, this is not getting any better. You just can't put better stuff on film than this. It's sensational. There is not one guy that is trying to be a hero and going rogue on their job. They are all working together to funnel the player into all of the tacklers, filling all of the gaps. There's simply nowhere to go here. And then Scooby gets the credit, makes the tackle. But that is a team tackle. It's 11 working as one. This is a thing of beauty. Surrounded by Gators, you are not getting out alive if you're a volunteer. This is a massive stop for Florida here on 4th down. Defense flexes their muscle here and stops Tennessee. 26-10, Florida still leads. Unlike Florida's offense, which went into a pretty serious shell in the second half, Florida's defense staying aggressive, continuing to play the best football they can play. Pre-snap look, Florida 2x1 here, 3x2 over there, 6x8 here. We've seen it. I keep highlighting it to show how consistent this is. This is how you execute a game plan. Tennessee says, you know what, let's go NCAA circa 2004-05, and let's run the speed option because nothing else is really working for us from the run game very well. Let's hit the speed option right here. And Florida says, oh no, we got this. Right away, Shamar knows I got to get outside, right? I have to be outside. Sapp, I have to be outside. Jordan Castle, the freshman who just plays so heady. I got to fill in this gap. That's my role. Jaden Hill sets up outside. Let's make sure that we're in the right lanes. And then that is what happens when you have this. Get outside, shoot through. You're the unblocked man. You force this to come back into the middle where because we're not all over pursuing as a team, right, we got to stop. There's Mitchell. We got to stop right here and then make a tackle right there. Right? A gain of 2 right there. Not a whole lot on the speed option, something Florida hasn't seen Tennessee run. Almost certainly probably didn't practice for that scenario. Regardless, ready for it. Immediately handling their lanes correctly and setting themselves up for success. That is super crucial. It is, again, the major reason why Florida has done so well in this football game up to this point in time. Assignment football, 11 working as one. Crucial 3rd and 8 here for Tennessee. Florida's defense going to give a slightly different look again than we've seen before. Just sending 3 here. I generally don't love this type of look for a variety of reasons, although Florida, again, really mixing it up here in the second half. Armstrong not content to just settle into even what might be the meta, but trying to run some different stuff here. Florida with a different personnel package on the field as well with Mitchell, the Ohio State transfer, playing. Didn't see a lot of PT in this game, I think in large part because the game plan is just not suited for him, beside the fact that I think it's clear at this point in time that both Scooby and Shamar are Florida's 2 best linebackers, but not a good game plan for a guy who's just not that quick. More of a powerful guy, a run-stopping guy, but one where you can't really afford to have to flex out and get exposed. Finds himself in the game here on 3rd and 8. Florida opens up in zone. Milton, despite just a 3-man rush, Sapp, who again has just been a beast this season, makes him get off the spot, which is crucial. If Sapp does not make him get off the spot here, he almost certainly has a completion at about the 15-yard area at the top of your screen. There was a receiver open there, never gets a chance to look for it, and now we're scrambling. Something Florida has done so well. We've showed this with Scooby in the past. When you get this look right here on TV and you see this and you think there's no one coming, like, oh no, he's going to roll out and walk to this first down, right? But there's always somebody coming. Always somebody coming this season. In this case, it is Mitchell, the Ohio State product. He just needs to take the outside shoulder. We saw Scooby do this. We highlighted earlier. Take the outside shoulder, and if he does, you're going to get a stop. Instead, right here, you can see him lean in, and now we have lost the battle, right? You are to be on the outside of this guy. Don't do what you're going to do right now. Don't do it to me. That hurts. You never want to be on film chasing a quarterback. Linebackers out there, do not be on film chasing a quarterback winding up behind him. You should never wind up like this. Do you see this? Never. This should never happen to you. This means you took a really bad angle. You would much rather, again, 11 playing as one, you would much rather take the outside shoulder here and let him cut you back to where your defense is helping, right? Do your job. It's okay if he cuts you back to where your defense is helping. It's not okay if he turns the corner on 3rd and 8 to where there is no help because your corner is playing pass defense and he gets to walk for the first down. So 3rd and 8, Florida gave up what would have been an open pass play. Sapp gets him off the spot. Florida has a new life. Mitchell can't make the tackle. And then Tennessee still alive here with 2:28 in the third. After a wild sequence of plays that feature Tennessee having a 2nd and 27, they find themselves in a 4th and manageable. Florida going to line up a little bit differently this time. Still going to maintain man pressure out here with posture, showing an inside coverage on the release here. Safeties also to the inside. Florida's going to actually wind up playing zone on this play for the most part on 4th and 6 behind. And then here, nice rush from Chris McClellan. Beats around the edge right here. Quick win around the edge. Kind of looks like a pancake. He feels like he's got to win. Flag will come in on this. Milton then rolls out. No one is really open on this play on the backside. And then he tries to throw this wheel that was covered here by Scooby originally to the backside. That ball is way off target. And again, frustrating thing here, I think, for fans of Tennessee and followers of Milton. He does have a ton of time here. Very clean pocket. This is a very easy throw for a guy with a huge arm. He can back shoulder this. He could have actually led him. Again, look at the space he has here, right? Like Scooby loses contact with him. He's here on him. And then he bumps back, maintains eye visual to Milton. He actually loses control of him. And this ball's out here. That's a huge play. It's going to be negated, but you get the point. Or you just make the simple throw. It's 4th down, and he misses by a mile. And unfortunately, for Tennessee, that's going to be the end of the third quarter and the end of their drive as Florida is going to decline that holding call. Florida holds up again on 4th down. Florida's defense, sensational thus far in this football game. One more quarter to go. 2nd and 7 now, 9:36 in the fourth quarter. Florida was able to take some time off the clock and get a significant field goal, making this a 19-point game, which is obviously now a 3-score game, so great work by Florida. Tennessee now needs to score to answer back and try to keep themselves in it. Florida's defense, you guessed it, 5 versus 7. Great job. Receiver up top you can't see, right? How is Florida going to handle this trips bunch down here? We've seen them struggle with this in the past. How do we handle it here? You can already see the perfect alignment of Jaden Hill, who had just an excellent game. He keeps popping up on film. He's to the outside of line, so he can easily get off any block they want to give him and then turn back to the help on the inside. Here we go. Release to the outside. Look how solid this is by Jaden Hill. Because of that release to the outside, he then frees up the unblocked man right here who comes down, in this case, Shamar James, to make a tackle. But no tackle needs to be made because, yep, you guessed it, Sapp is there again. I mean, what a game by Sapp. Just what an absolutely great game. Rushing off the right edge this time, sets in, sees it's going to be a quick game. Watch the quarterback drop. If you're a defensive lineman, pay attention to where the quarterback drops. Right here, he sets immediately. You know that ball is coming out. Get your hand up, sees the quick drop, puts his hand up, tips it, and that pass goes harmlessly for an incompletion. Excellent work by Sapp. Great defense by Florida. Even if that ball's caught, it's going nowhere if James makes the tackle. Just great, great stuff. 3rd and 7 now. Florida gets to stop. The game is basically over. Tennessee comes out in a 3-by-1, only to then motion back into here, leaving 8 men in the box with Florida countering with 6. It's been working out for Florida all game, and this is what you would not have wanted to see, by the way, all game for Florida. This is what Tennessee would have wanted to see. We saw it last year countless times versus many teams, is the ability to be able to run the football in these situations when they should be able to run the football effectively. 8 versus 6 with a quarterback who could also run. Nice hole created by Tennessee's offensive line. One of the few times I've said that all day. And that creates a 2-way go. Shamar James locked up right there. Can't get off the block until the end. Slows him down some. Complete whiffed. I mean, this is an embarrassing move of tackle here by Mitchell. Not exactly sure what happens. A move isn't really even made per se until the end. He comes flying in. Broken. Nothing. Doesn't even really touch him. But then Castle makes the tackle. So 3rd and 7. Big run call there by Heupel. It had not been working against the numbers time and time again, but this time it does, and they convert. 29-10. Florida still in control. Tennessee still alive. 2nd down and 5. In the game now is Florida's freshman, Jakeem Jackson, a guy that is highly respected and talked about as being one of Florida's best future corners. And he's actually in great position here. Let's watch and see what happens. He's playing man-to-man here, bailing on the deep route. On 2nd and 5, in fact, expecting a deep route. We can see we're playing off. He's going to make contact here with the receiver visually. Keep a nice buffer so that if he sits down, he can come down and make a play. And if he keeps riding deep, he can stay deep. Now, given that Tennessee is outside the numbers, he wants to keep him outside the numbers on an outside release. He wants to make sure that he maintains inside leverage on this route. As they go off your screen, inside leverage is maintained, and when you pick this back up on TV, Jakeem Jackson looks like he is absolutely burnt. Like, what is he, slow? I thought this guy was supposed to be a fast twitch corner who could really ride. What happens here, and you can tell he's frustrated with himself right here. He's frustrated with himself, not happy about it. You know, the classic hands up, what happened to me. Tennessee now still in the football game, right? She knows it. She's a smart football fan. This game is not over. Despite Florida's dominance, Tennessee is still in this game. They're still in this game. It's 29-16. They are not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. But first, let's take a look and see what happened on this play. Florida late to line up. Getting a late pressure here, moving. Milton off the pocket, and right here, that's great coverage. Look, Milton's just taking a shot, right? I mean, there's nothing there. I mean, look at that. You can see that. He's not ahead. Jakeem Jackson is step for step, but Jakeem Jackson has potentially never played with a guy who has the arm that Milton does. I mean, look at this rope. Just please look at this. Milton is throwing completely off platform, flowing backwards, sideways the wrong way. He's going to throw an absolute rope out here. I mean, this is ridiculous stuff. Him and AR, just absolute lasers for arms. And then Jakeem Jackson gets burned. This has got to be one of the better passes Milton has made in his Tennessee career, given how he was fading out. But the reason this occurs is Jakeem Jackson right here. And I want to show you where this started, right? This started on the 45-yard line. Jakeem right here looks back for the ball. So he started on the 45-yard line. He's gone 10, 20, about 25 yards. So he's thinking most go routes are going to fly in the air between 40 and 50 yards. The ball's probably coming up right now, which he is in fact correct. But when he turns back, having his hand on the receiver, he turns back and he slows up. Right here he's looking for it. Turns back, slows up, gets a little professional push off from Tennessee's receiver, which all receivers do. And this tracking, trying to find this ball right here, slows him down, pulls him out of stride. He cannot catch back up. And that ball goes for 6. So good learning scenario for Jakeem Jackson on that one. Something he'll certainly get better from. The key here is, though, he did not just get burnt on a straight go route. That would be concerning if that were the case. He was step for step, stride for stride, controlling the route, turned around, looks back, had a bad look, slowed down, got a little push off, and a touchdown for Tennessee, putting them back in the football game. This is a huge 2-point conversion for Tennessee. They're down 13. If they get it, they're down 11, which means they're only down a field goal and a touchdown and 2-point conversion. So although it's still 2 scores with 13, this is sort of a freebie, go for 2, to try to get yourself where the field goal is in play with just 8 minutes left. Florida here, cover 0, max the box, right? Take away the inside run, max the box, cover 0, and then see what happens here. Milton going to counter with a sprint out, knowing they're in cover 0. Let's look at the route combination up top. He's going to sprint out to the right. Princely does not get a great start here. He actually pulls a little bit inside. Milton immediately sprints out. Florida now covered up top here, funneling, right? This is nice. This is important. Take a look at the route combination Tennessee runs. I love this route combination. In fact, I myself have showed this on the breakdown before in reverse. We've talked about doing it either way, but you can also run this in reverse, where this right here, he runs the hitch and your slant comes under. But basically, same concept in reverse. Slant's going to go to the out. It's great play. Roll out, really nice play. Florida counters perfectly by switching this. Notice technique here. He does not follow his in-breaking route. He's watching the number 2 receivers break. He's making sure Jaden Hill stays to the inside here, knowing if he goes out, he's going to then flip and cover him. Let's watch the sequencing, and there it is. That route's a pick route. They're trying to pick to set up this sit-down hitch or this little slant hitch. This ball is here, and Milton should throw it. Period. End of story. Milton should throw this ball and convert for 2, but he does not. Right here, if you're a quarterback, you are anticipating the space that you see. Florida's corner is off. You know you have this. Stick it in there. You got to hit this if you're Milton. But again, it's college. Sometimes this happens. If you're a Tennessee fan, of course, you're just thrilled with what you see right now on film. If you're a Florida fan, you're also thrilled, just for very different reasons of why you're thrilled. One sarcastically, one truthfully. But the window is missed. And now Milton thinks, I'm going to outrun Princely. But Princely, Florida's defensive end, is striding. I mean, look at this stride. Pay attention to his stride right here. I mean, he is absolutely just riding out, and boom. Get down. Hoss him down. He did this with a disadvantage. Now Milton at this point in time is looking to throw. He's not full sprinting, but regardless, Princely is. Hoss him down. Put him down behind the line of scrimmage. Significant 2-point conversion defense there from Florida. Tennessee now down to the last gasp. They've driven down the field. It's 1st down and 10 on Florida's 26-yard line. Had they had 2 extra timeouts, which they burned on that first drive in the third quarter, this drive could have been different for them. They would have had time to score and then get a stop on defense, but the way it was standing, they needed to score very quickly, or they were going to have to go with an onside kick, which obviously not ideal for a million different reasons, most of them having to do with the fact that it's hard to get. So, route combination we've already seen from Tennessee. Tennessee in the stack right now. We're going to run this, followed by a wheel here. So we're just trying to create traffic to see if we can confuse the defense on this side, which we have seen successfully. This is, again, Miguel Mitchell, the guy who got beat the first time we did this. Notice his distance. It's better this time, right? These are good relationship distances between the corner and the off man, making sure that you can get around any perceived pick. Now, on this side, as Tennessee does, if you're noticing up top, nothing really happens. Now, Tennessee does this a lot to save their receivers, especially in the 2-minute drill and late in games. And even just in general, they know, hey, pre-snap, this is a symmetrical look. And again, another reason why Tennessee's offense is good is you're going to run a mirrored look here. And pre-snap, it doesn't matter, right? You know you're getting the same technique on either side. Florida's going to run the same thing on this side as they are on this side. It's single high. You just pick pre-snap which matchup you think you like better, and rightfully so. Milton thinks I like the matchup with Miguel better because he's already blown this before. So we're going to come here, we're going to go here, and see how he handles it. And what happens is he's actually underneath this route again. There is space for this ball to be thrown. He's underneath it, although he does not get rubbed at all, does not get picked at all. He just does not get a great break. There is space here. Although he is close, and that matters. Look, it's a tough throw, right? He's not burnt like last time. He's right here. This throw's got to be a good one. That's what you're playing man defense for. Is if the guy drops it in the bucket right here, it's a touchdown. So be it. Make him drop it in the bucket. But he is beat. He does not drop it in the bucket. And 1st down and 10 becomes 2nd and 10. But again, that's a good route combination. Something we've talked about, hoping to see more on Florida's side of the ball are some route combinations that put defenders in difficult positions, especially if you know you have man. Tennessee does a good job of that, but Florida did an even better job limiting them to completions of significance when they were in man defense. They had a couple, but outside of those couple, they didn't do a whole lot of damage through the air. 2nd and 10 now, Florida playing man-to-man, too high. So we got 2 safeties over top for these deep throws. Milton wants to work the top right away, opening up to the left to try to see if he can't even get any movement out of the safety, but Florida's freshman Jordan Castell does not. And he's actually applying nice pressure to this throw. Jason Marshall in great position. There's the football, nowhere near any receiver. That goes way out of bounds. And I kind of love this look here with Alberta. She's just chilling. Look at this. Albert is like, yeah, what's up? But Alberta's got this cold, just watches this play happen. Watch her. Just watch Alberta right here. Step aside. Kind of just chill, watch this happen. She's just calm, collected, and then clapping. Yeah, we're cool with this. Yep, that's not happening. But I mean, cool, calm, collected from Alberta. Look at this little sidestep right here by Alberta. Sidestep out of the way. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Albert's like, oh no, what's happening? Someone's near me. But Alberta's like, we're good. We're cool. We got this, right? Anyway, Florida, big stop. Jordan Castell popping up all over this film. He's a freshman, right? He's only going to get better every single game. The guy's played 3 games in college football. Playing on a big stage and getting better and better and better and doing it again versus an offense that puts him in a ton of space. So 3rd and 10 now for Tennessee. 3rd and 10, and this is an absolute thing of beauty from Devin Moore here in press man versus the stack. I mean, this is awesome. He would go out with what I hope is a calf cramp, hopefully not a calf injury. I don't have any information at the time of exactly what happens to him here, but this is just phenomenal stuff. Tennessee throwing the kitchen sink at Florida, trying to score quickly. They're going to run this route here, which man-to-man and press is so hard to cover. He's got 25 yards to run and tons of space to cover. He maintains leverage on him right there. Very nice. Now off your screen, returning, maintains his leverage right here. Very nice. He's almost running the route for him. They get tangled up a bit. Incomplete pass. But, I mean, that is just awesome, awesome defense and press man. There is no space there. There's nowhere for that to go. That is fantastic defense from Devin Moore. Florida took a few little injuries at the end of this game, but they are deep at corner. They have a lot of guys who can cover, and that is one reason why we felt like they were a good matchup for Tennessee this year. From each corner to the nickel to the safeties, for the most part, able to play. But especially looking at Florida's top 4 corners in their nickel, they can cover anybody man-to-man and expect to do reasonably well, especially with Tennessee not having the receivers they had last year. All right, 4th and 10, game on the line. In the swamp, a stop from Florida, and it's all going to be over, and Florida comes out again. That's right, you guessed it, in man-to-man defense. What a thing of beauty. Too high, man-to-man. Tennessee on the bottom of your screen. Pay attention down here. Bottom of your screen is going to run. The old trusty, here we go again. This time a rub on a drag, followed by a wheel here. Shamar James handles this much better. He's a linebacker, by the way, but handles this much better than Miguel Mitchell does. Watch how Shamar handles this. He stays on top. Notice how he opens up, shuffle steps over, stays on top of this route here on the wheel. That has no shot. That play is dead. Immediately, Florida, bringing only 4, is going to get pressure with a good edge rush here, moving Milton off the spot, right? Great edge rush from Princely. You get too long in this video, you start saying words that aren't words. My apologies. Princely, though, great rush here, moves him off the spot. Florida working together to collapse the pocket on Milton. Milton slides out, and again, previous times in Florida's history, as soon as you see this, I know what you're thinking. I'm thinking the same thing. He's got nothing but green grass. Not under Coach Ham's watch. Here is your spy, ready to roll. And that is Scooby, who we've already seen will lay the wood, a quarterback every single week. He is super quick, hard to get away from, breaks down really well, not allowing quarterbacks to juke him. This time he acquires his target, lays the wood at the same point in time that the bracket coverage Florida has employed here, where Jakeem Jackson at the start of this route is in press coverage right here. He's going to stay to the outside, shepherding him to the safety who he knows he has help with. There's your bracket. Safety's going to be right here coming down on this. We lose them on the screen. They come back in. There it is. There's your safety. There's Jakeem shepherding in. Ball bounces, incomplete. Game over. 11 working as one. Pressure, stepping up with a linebacker, bracket coveraging, playing man-to-man, communicating correctly. Again, Florida gave up a decent amount of yards in this game, but with Florida's offense doing almost nothing in the second half, with Florida's defense having to answer the bell time and time and time again against one of the most high-tempo, dangerous offenses in college football, was an incredible achievement in Game 3 of the Austin Armstrong era. Absolutely sensational stuff. And this is the face of a coach who has thrown the book at Coach Ham. And Coach Ham says, throw whatever you want at me, I'm ready. This is a W for my boys and an L for yours, right? There's Napier getting a signature win for him. His first rivalry win, a much-needed win for Florida. And right here, look at the coverage, right? Bracket, here it is. Here's your bracket. There's Jakeem. Pull him into here, 2-on-1. There's your spy. Nowhere really to go with this football. You got a little gap in here, but you're getting somebody hitting you. Really great defense by Florida. It's wonderful to see this stuff on film. Not going to get there. Not even close. 4th and 10. Off the field we go. Florida with the dubs. Tennessee with the L. It's been 20 long years since Tennessee's won at Florida, and I hope it'll be at least 20 more. As always, thanks for watching this film breakdown. I hope you enjoyed it. I look forward to being back with you next week when I'll break down Florida's defense versus Charlotte, which should be a very different video than this one. At any rate, as always, I'm James from the GNFP. Go Gators.